Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Radio Check podcast. Today we have Grace, finally. She's finally decided to join us after many weeks of disappearing and not being here.
In my defence, I was working at Ascot and it was 13-hour shifts, so I kind of had to disappear, but you know.
we'll give it to her, I don't know any big news that happened this week, really, apart from the Colton Hunter drama, because normally we start off the episode with like the biggest piece of drama from the week. Obviously last week was the Daniel Ricciardo situation, but I feel like this week there's been no drama in the world of motorsport.
Unless you want to count Ferrari's bananas.
No, that's more meme. That's more meme than anything.
They're minions. They're minions.
They're minions with
they're bananas. They took,
fucking
the Charles Leclerc photo from lockdown and used that instead. I feel like the only, like I said, the only thing is the Colton Hurt drama. And I want to know everyone's opinions. Does he deserve a super license? Because he doesn't have enough points, but there are reasons as to why he doesn't have enough points. So what are we thinking?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because it's not fair on like all the other drivers that don't have enough points.
Yeah, she has a point.
I see that. But the main reason he doesn't have enough points is because I think it was either the season before or like a few seasons ago in Indy Lights, there wasn't enough people to count a race as a championship race, I think. So he wasn't allowed to collect super license points from that. I will fact check myself on that one. I'm pretty sure I've heard that. And I think that was the main reason he doesn't have enough points. But I'm with Hayley in the fact that there are other people in the motorsport world who probably have enough points, but won't ever get to F1 because they don't have the money and things like that. So I feel like it is unfair to just like give him a super license because he wants one and Red Bull want him. Like a lot of people have brought Jamie Chadwick into it and been like, how can he get a C if Jamie doesn't have a C? And my view on that one is that Jamie's not been in a real racing car. Like a Formula 3 car is a racing car, but it's not an F1 standard car, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. I think she needs a bit more before we try and give her an F1 seat, because realistically, she's not even gone into F2 yet. So, I don't know.
And the thing is, she turned down an F2 seat, but I feel like it would have benefited her so much more by getting into one of those type of cars, and then she would have progressed so quickly. Because, like, we know she's a good driver, but it's just the fact, W Series, they all have the same car and everything, and it's very different. Even though, like, I know, like, gender's different, but that doesn't actually affect how someone drives. It's literally just the different series have different cars. Like, so I reckon she should have taken that seat.
Yeah, when she didn't, I was like, it's kind of scampered her chances, I think, because the F2 is the closest to an F1 car you can get without an F1 car. Yeah. And I feel like that would have been the best move. But I don't think she wants to just sit around in like the junior categories for long, because I think she's like, she's not getting on, but she's getting older. Like, she doesn't have time to be waiting around for like people to pick her up. But apparently she's going to Indy Lights, which I think is going to be very interesting. Well, she's got a test for them, should I say. She's got a test for an Indy Lights.
And they got a few of the W Series testing for Formula 3. Some of their cars.
They're the younger girls. It's Chloe Chambers. Oh, God. Gotta find it now.
I think Abby Pulling.
Yeah, Hayley, don't bring up these things if you don't know those things. Because I have to go find them.
I'm sorry, I just like see it on my timeline. I'm like, oh, that's a cool thing, but then I never actually have the time to like properly read into it.
Okay, here it is. So it's Abby Pulling. I'm gonna say this so wrong. Hamda Al Kabisia. I probably said that so wrong. I'll put all their names on the screen so that if I picture them, you know who I'm talking about. Chloe Chambers and Teresa Bakanova. Don't know. The only one who's not a W Series driver there is Hamda, and she drives in Formula Regional, I think. But she's still very young. I think she's in like 20, I think. Hold on. I'll fact check myself once again. This is just me fact checking myself the whole time. I don't know how old she is, but I believe she's like 20. So she's one of the younger, but No, I don't know. I feel like the whole silly season is just silly. It's getting even sillier now, and I don't get it. And then there was a video
No.
I saw of Daniel Ricciardo and Perez.
Perez,
Yeah. That video.
Mm.
They're walking to the drivers' parade, and he says, oh, "Well, this is what we suspect he had, because we don't really know what he said, but this is what we heard. Take a year off in 2023 or 2024. No, take a year off and come back in 2024.
Yeah,
or whichever one, Grace.
It's 2023 next year, so if he took a year off, it probably would be next year.
I thought it was 2024. I thought you said
2022.
It said
right now.
coming back in 2024.
Oh, he comes back.
heard
No,
come
I
back in
thought you meant the
2024.
year that he was going to have a break.
No.
Have a break in 2023.
I know what year it is, Grace.
I just about go, if you skipped one, like
Yeah, we just skipped a year. Just didn't want to
Yeah.
that year. Yeah, so he basically says to Perez, take a year off, come back in 2024. I can't do that, no. I think he's now been linked to Mercedes.
oh, what, because of Lewis the other day, like
Yeah.
yesterday,
He was
yes,
linked,
the other day.
He was linked a few days ago, and then I think Lewis said something in a press conference. And
Yeah, he was just like, if it was me, he'd be driving. So
Yeah, he said if I was Daniel's manager, he would be driving next year.
yeah.
But then it's suspicious because Lewis could retire in 2024. That is my crystal ball prediction.
I reckon. Oh my god, just fell backwards. I reckon Lewis will retire next year.
Yeah,
At the end of next year, because I feel like he wants another year to try get his eighth, and because he wants to break that record. I know that for a fact.
I don't think he will though.
But no, I'm not sure because Red Bull just haven't been on it. yeah. But Red Bull are so on it that I don't feel like he has a chance at this point in time.
But
unless something goes wrong with their car next year and Mercedes have a leg up. But the likelihood of that
could
is
then also get the leg up.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
McLaren could even be in the fight at this point.
Go on, Charles.
If Lewis leaves, that obviously leaves an open seat at Mercedes, which could potentially be Daniel's, because at that point Nick would be a bit too old for a Mercedes seat, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people wanted to see. I know I've just seen this all over Twitter. A lot of people want to see Norris in that seat. They wanted to see him at Mercedes, but I feel like that's wrong. I can't envision him with George at Mercedes,
and he's not good enough.
I mean, he just makes the decisions he makes are a bit rash, and he's still got a little bit of growing up to do. Whereas George is very grown up for like being in that group of young drivers.
But then remember that George was obviously the kind of like the head of Williams for a few years.
Yeah.
Like he was obviously the lead driver at Williams for a few years, so he kind of had to do that growing up. Whereas George, well, no, it's like Lando has always had that older driver next to him. Like he had Carlos, and now he has Daniel. Like I know that Daniel's not performing, but in a way, neither is Lando. Like I was saying that Lando's not mature enough for his first win yet, and I got attacked on TikTok when I said that. But it's true, and I know like what Grace was saying was true. He needs a few more years to build on himself and his career and who he is before anyone can say he's a top driver. Which is why I don't understand why they brought Oscar Piastri. I don't get it.
I mean,
because they've now got two rookies, basically.
Yeah, they got two rookies, and I feel like this could give Lando that leadership role. He could step up to it a lot for Oscar, but it's whether he will step up to it. That's the thing. But who knows what's going to happen.
And McLaren and Zach want to be like winning world championships and winning like races and stuff. They're not going to win a single race next year because Oscar's been out of the seat for a whole year. Let's remember that. So Oscar's not even been in a car for a year. And when he steps in a car, it'll be a brand new car. And it's completely different to the Alpine. Daniel said the McLaren car is completely different to every other car on the grid. So Oscar's basically sitting in Daniel Ricciardo's seat, which was probably the hardest car to drive because it's suited to Lando. He's not driven a car in a whole year, and yet McLaren think he's going to win races.
Yeah, it's a bit
Not
backwards,
gonna
isn't it?
happen.
They're gonna lose and I'm gonna laugh.
As a McLaren fan, my heart hurts, but as like a Carlos fan, Ferrari, come on. Like, I'm glad Carlos left. So
Yeah. I think
It
Carlos
was-
was at the right time, but
yeah,
I can't see the
100%.
Ferrari lineup changing anytime soon, which again is a little bit sad, I think, because I kind of wanted Robert Schwartzman in a Ferrari seat.
Yeah.
But there's no Ferrari seats left, really.
No, I don't think
So-
it's actually, no,
It's
because they're
sad.
such a good pair as well. They get on
Yeah.
really well. But
Although the team don't agree. The team don't like
Another
that.
one that would have been nice to see, but again, it's not going to happen, would be Mick Schumacher
of
in the
course, legend
Ferrari.
himself.
But it's just not going to happen. We'll see it.
Where do we think he's going to end up, Mick?
I think he's
Out
off.
of F1.
Thank you.
I don't want to say it,
no.
but I think he's not going to be
He's-
here next year.
He's not
That'd hurt
performing.
my heart.
He's not getting points. He can't blame on the car anymore because Magnussen's getting the points and Magnussen's getting the things.
Yeah.
He's in Q3 like 2 times. So I'm sorry, my friend. See you later. Get out the door. Goodbye.
Oh, poor Mick.
And now he's left the Ferrari Academy. That second Haas seat is no longer his because that's
Mm.
the Ferrari train seat. Antonio Giovinazzi is still part of the Ferrari Academy. So Antonio is going to jump into that Haas seat. That's my
Back
guess.
from Formula E.
Yeah, I
Was
think he's going to leave them.
Switcheroo. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Dragon have signed him for another year. I think they only signed him for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who Dragon have as their lineup for this year, if they have anyone at all. I don't know any. I don't
I'm
know
not
much
sure.
about the Formula E driving market. It's confusing the life out of me. I can't find any.
It changes every 5
Yeah.
minutes.
every 10
Oh my
minutes.
God.
There's a new team. I'm not joking.
What's annoying is my friend who does work for McLaren, he texts me when there's news. He texts me half an hour before, so he keeps it a secret. He talks to me he talks to me sometimes, and he keeps it a secret. And then he goes, "Oh, by the way, keep your eye out for the news." So he doesn't tell me, but I know there's something coming.
No.
So I'm just like, I'm sat here for half an hour, just sat there going, "You absolute dickhead! Can you please tell me?" And he's like, "No, because I'll get
No.
fired." And I'm like, I'm not going to tell
I
anyone.
was gonna say they're not gonna find out if you tell me.
No. And he was like, well, you can talk about it, but you can't say like who I am. I was like, fair enough, because I don't actually want to get you fired. But it's torture, because it's every single time. So when Ricardo got announced as he was out, I was just like, Ricardo's out and I can't do anything. It's not confirmed, but it's like he said it and I'm going to trust him. And then he said it again about Oscar and I was like, for God's sake. The second time.
I hate.
Painful. But he
Well,
did.
We need to know the Formula E drama. We need to know when McLaren are announcing their second driver. We need to know. We need to know now. We need to know. Tell me.
I can't wait to see them in Formula E though.
I don't want to be Zach Brown's fan, so I don't want to support them.
Okay.
So like his Zach bestie. I've told like just since the beginning. Kira knows every episode I diss Zach Brown and don't talk to me, sir.
Every time McLaren is mentioned, I know a dig's coming. I just know. I'm prepared at this point. I just know.
I hate that man. I hate him all, every bit in me. And I also had Andreas Seidel now. Andreas and me are besties because he used to protect Daniel and then he was like, "See you later, Daniel." And I was like, "See you later, Andreas." I hate them all.
I mean, Daniel deserves better.
He
Bless
does.
his cotton socks.
Screw them.
That sounded posh.
Burning my McLaren merch.
I was joking. I was like, I'll just like scratch off the McLaren bit and just leave like the driver bit. Like,
Because that's a
McLaren
Lando
do?
one. So you
What?
can't do that.
Yeah, it's a Lando one. Leave it.
Yeah,
Scratch it off.
It's still
Can't be a Daniel
McLaren.
supporter. You know what my favourite part of this whole drama is apparently you can't be a Daniel and a Lando supporter. You have to be one of them, which I find really funny because I'm neither a Lando, I'm not a Lando supporter, but I don't think you have to be one to be the other, or you can't be both, if that makes sense.
Last episode, I was dissing Lando Norris. I was like, yeah, he could DNF. I don't care. We want Danny to win.
It just
though.
makes me laugh on TikTok when someone's like, oh, like Lando, like when someone's just dissing Lando for the whole Daniel drama, and I'm like, Lando didn't do anything. Lando didn't
It's not
push
his
Daniel
fault.
out of the team. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not his fault. But people on TikTok seem to think it is, and Twitter seem to think it is too. So screw
Can
everyone.
we talk about Lando's relationship for a second? Where he posted that breakup thing, but then he deleted it.
Deleted.
What?
There were spelling mistakes as well in it, so I don't know what to believe anymore.
I was
Maybe
at
deleted
work
it
for the
'cause of
whole
spelling
thing, so I came
mistakes.
out of work and I was like, excuse me, what's going on?
And
What's
then-
happened?
I
Had
never saw the
announces it
actual
on his
story.
notebook.
No, me either.
No,
You what?
I never saw the actual story. I saw
did.
the screenshots
Hold
of
on.
it and everything, and I was just like, "Is this
Have the
real?
actual
Is it
story here,
fake?"
people. Let me
Yeah.
find it. I
Did
screenshot.
Ted
I
not
was just
cover it in like his notebook though? I swear I saw clips. on
Yeah,
TikTok.
Ted.
Yeah.
Talks
About
about
it.
it. So I
He
believe
didn't spill
now.
much though. There's no
No.
tea.
Come on, Ted.
There we go.
He's supposed to be a legend. Yeah, no,
Yeah, the
I
actual
wasn't
story.
sure whether it was real or not, because
But-
every time, like the first time I saw it on like an F1 fan page kind of thing, and I was thinking, oh, someone's made this up.
Yeah.
But please.
Please. there was another spelling mistake. Yeah, please respect our decision. You can't even see because it's backwards. Please respect our decision and respect our, but more importantly and especially her privacy. And it's like, did he spell it wrong on purpose? Like, did he just misspell it because he was upset, or did he misspell it because he didn't write?
Crying and writing it.
He probably didn't read it through again. That's the thing.
Like,
But
I don't know.
I mean, I feel really bad for them both, honestly, for being so in the public eye and her getting so much hate. And she's so sweet. I met her once, and she was just the sweetest. And she was taking merch over to Lando to get him to sign it.
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
It's just, I feel like it's unfair on her, really, that everyone still hates her.
Yeah, I can't believe people
But
are still
then-
like saying rude things, and I'm like, they're broken up
Yeah.
now. What do you want?
Leave her alone.
Exactly.
She wants to live her life.
The poor woman.
I know. I God. Just gonna.
Well, we've not actually spoken anything Dutch yet. We've just spoken about the
I forgot about that.
You're just spilling the tea.
Yeah, we're just spilling the tea. I feel like every
We've
episode.
got to get the drama out the way.
Yeah, we always start with the drama because I always have something to say on the drama because it's normally including Zach Brown and Lando Norris and McLaren, and I don't want to talk about them, so I should stop. No violence is consumed in this program, I promise. we don't do that here, guys. Well, I guess I don't know what the big stories were last weekend.
Before we get into like, the actual racing and qualifying, do you want to talk about like, Flair's situation and our opinions on that specific thing?
What do you mean?
Because obviously that stopped a quali practice, didn't it? Or a free practice quali.
Oh, the
Obviously one for
flares.
Oh, the
for
flares.
Oh,
Apparently, the guy
I think
with
they're
the
now banned.
security outfit.
Yeah, I saw that. That he
I
was
saw
like a security guy.
Like what?
yeah. It's the way the security guard did it. Like, you've seen that video of the guy filming him on the stairs. It's the way the security guy did it. Looked really proud of himself, and you could see people in front of the guy with the camera going, "What the hell?" Because they knew that it stopped the session, and it's just, oh my god, it made me mad. It just made me so mad. I was just like, "Are you joking? Why would you do that? That's like chucking a rucksack on a train track and delaying a train. Like,
Oh.
it's as annoying as that."
Mm.
And especially during quali, like I feel like you could have done in any other session, like an FP1 and FP2 would have been fine. But for quali, it meant that an already packed and tight circuit is even more packed and tight because of traffic even more. And especially in Q1 where there's 20 drivers out on the grid.
Mm.
Like, I don't know, it just felt like it caused more carnage. But I think quali was quite boring. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, I
We
feel like
had
not
the
a lot.
Perez incident that made like the Mercs have to kind of pull out of their flying laps.
Oh, we spun. That was boring. Give me some
That was
interest.
kind
Oh,
of
wait, I
like,
didn't even properly watch quali. I like
But
had it on
then there was,
silent.
like-
I was at a party.
a
Yeah, I just
conspiracy
had
on
the
that
times up.
Oh
because
gosh, no
people
more
thought that
conspiracies.
Perez spun on purpose to slow down the Mercs.
I can't.
I
You
feel
know
that's a bit
what?
stupid.
The Merc thing really pissed me off because why was it for Merc? It would be more Ferrari because Ferrari were on the pace. I was scared Ferrari was going to get pole and we weren't.
It's because Toto Wolff said that Hamilton and George were doing like a really good flying laps and they were catching up to Max. Obviously, we don't know if that's necessarily on market there, but they were getting quicker though. In all fairness,
they were. But then, like they say, their progress is just very limited because as they make progress, Red Bull will make progress, and that Red Bull's progress will then put them ahead of Mercedes' progress. And I feel like Mercedes are progressing at a slower rate than everyone else. So when they progress, it's so much slower and it's so much longer. They just take forever to put good progress into play. But I really wanted Mercedes to be strong like this season, but they've been shit. But apparently, well, not apparently, Russell is now like P2 in the championship or something, isn't he? Obviously,
I have notes on this.
everyone is
No, it's Charles.
For like driver standings,
George is
hello.
P4
Russell's P4.
currently in the in the championship.
But
in
they're
the
all
drivers.
very close. So if Charles has another bad race,
because Perez and Leclerc have
Oh,
201 points, so they're joint second at the moment. And then George is just behind him with 188.
yeah, so all it
So
takes
it's
is
quite
for
close.
Perez and Charles to have a bad race. George to
Yeah.
have a good race. George could overtake them and come second in the driver's standings, which
Yeah.
just blows my mind. Like,
He's above the 7-time world champion who has only got 158 points. Even Carlos is above him. Carlos is the divider between the two Mercedes at the moment. So, and then Charles is the divider between the two Red Bulls. So no one's got it 1, 2 or 3, 4 or whatever, because Ferrari are just embedded.
We're good here, we're not good here.
Yeah.
We like our strategists, we don't like them now.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about this when it first happened, but just after the summer break, Mattia Binotto was like, we don't need to change any of our strategists. And the last few races, I think you need to, Master. I think you need to. I could be a better strategist for your team. Okay, I could be a better strategist.
Yeah. God, that's just the stupidest statement that they could have said.
I think it was the best thing that was ever said by any Ferrari person ever. And it makes the banana costumes even better this weekend. They just look like the absolute joke of the paddock. They are the joke of the paddock. They are.
I kid you not, I woke up from a nap, I opened Instagram and it was the first thing I saw, and I was like, have I just gone into the multiverse or something, because this is not right. And I was just like,
the yellow suits just made me laugh. I say to my sister, they look like bananas. She was like,
I thought banana, thought minion, I thought they were literally, what if they just chuck the shirts on the track like Mario Kart and use it as banana peels to spin everyone out? Like
no, it's the Terros. They put the Terros behind them.
Yeah. Get it stuck in Max's bloody wheel.
They're doing a groove. They're taking over the track, mate.
Yeah.
They still lose. They would still lose if they did that. I can tell you that.
No, the FIA would be after them if they did that.
No, the Red Bull fans would be after them because that's cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're all about cheating here. We're going to segue nicely into the whole Hannah Schmitz drama, because I'm concerned for everyone who is on F1 Twitter. Now, for some of you don't know, Hannah Schmitz, I think that's how you say her name. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, my friend. But she's the head strategist for Red Bull Racing. Let me repeat, Red Bull Racing, not Alpha Tauri, okay? Let's make that clear. Let's make that clear, sir. She's the head strategist for Red Bull. And obviously Yuki Tsunoda stopped on track, and then he stopped. He came back in. They were like, you have no issues, go back out. Then he stops on track, like, 10 minutes later? No, literally 3 minutes later.
As soon as he got straight out, he was like, no.
And then everyone was like, yeah, Red Bull played it into their hands, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, come again. And then footage got released a few days ago of them saying to Tsunoda to carry on and to, like, leave the pit lane. And everyone was like, why were they telling Tsunoda to leave the pit lane? And I was like, because if you stop at the end of the pit lane, it's dangerous because anyone could be behind you. and you stop people from using the pit lane. Like, I feel like that was the most dangerous place to leave the car. At least if he moved the car like away from the pit lane, it was safer. But I don't know. Everyone else can have their opinion on it, but I don't think it was anything to do with Red Bull trying to win the race.
No.
It happens. Like, these things happen. You can't control it, and sometimes they go undetected. So I don't get why people are thinking it's to do with winning the.
It's like Bottas didn't finish, so that's like people saying he did that because Ferrari told him to.
Yeah, it makes me laugh.
It makes no sense. Why would they
Just
do
because
that?
they're all related doesn't mean they all do things for each other. Because let's remember,
Exactly.
the last race of the season, the Williams car crashed. That's a Mercedes-powered car. They're nothing to do with Red Bull. So why would a Mercedes-powered car stop on track and ruin Lewis Hamilton's race? Like, someone explain to me, because you theorists on Twitter and everything else need to get your head straight, because I'm sorry, you believe too many things. A team literally says one word to another team and you're like, they're together, they're conspiring. Like, shut up, man. Winding me up. You annoy me as much as Zach Brown. But I don't think teams work together. Like, Alpha Tauri and Red Bull are two different teams. They play their own different game. They want to play their own different game because they ruined Tsunoda's race. You ruined Tsunoda's chance of getting points at that point. So why would you ruin it even more? I don't know. It confused me, and I was like, what's going on here? People need to get your lives together, mate. Also, on the topic of Bottas, there was the controversial thing where Sainz overtook the Alpine literally next to Bottas' stationary car. Someone tell me how that was safe and he got away with it. Someone. That was unsafe. You could have crashed into that car, and yet you didn't.
I think it was like the case of where the yellow flags were, or whether he like had actually got ahead before the yellow flags or after the yellow flags were.
But I still think
something like that.
I still think it was dangerous. Like, there's
it was still a silly
on
move.
The side of the road, and you're going 3 wide into a corner. Like, something tells me that's not really safe, Carlos. But yet you didn't get a penalty for that. If Max did that, all these fans would be like, Max, get a penalty. That should have been a penalty, Max. But no, you did the Carlos to you.
Everyone loves Carlos, so
why can't we love Max? He's a great racer. Thank you.
Yeah, he is a great racer, but he's not my favorite person. Like,
no, agreed.
Yes, person.
I agree with that.
Thank you, Kira. Finally. Get into it. No, but that's true. Like, I feel like I have favorite drivers that I don't really like as people. Like, there's some drivers on the grid that I'm like, you are a horrible human being. I don't like you. But I don't know. I feel like you don't have to be a fan of them to be a fan of. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I don't know.
I'll see. No, don't know.
The drama. There was a lot of drama. But I feel like that was the only real. There was a lot of things, like there was a lot of strategy that went into play this weekend, and that's where I feel like Ferrari did lose out quite a bit, because we know their strategy game is not very good right now. And Ferrari, like, Red Bull, we saw absolutely like fly. Like, they have the strategy on point. They knew what they were doing, and then when the safety cars hit, they knew what they were doing again, and it was just like they knew. And I was just like, Red Bull once again with their female engineer. Like, screw you men that think we're not good enough. But I don't know. Someone else can talk for a minute, because I don't know what I'm saying.
Are we doing predictions for Monza? Because I know that's this weekend. The
We do
last
our
of the triple header.
Right at the end. Our prediction part is right at the end, when I have spoken enough about Max Verstappen and this he's going to crash. I'm reading through my notes here.
We could talk about the Ferrari team leaving the tyre gun out and Perez going like straight over it.
Ferrari, please sort yourselves out, okay? We don't need any more casualties in the pit lane, sir. Sort yourselves out.
Do you know what actually happened with that? Because I don't remember hearing like a penalty or a fine
They didn't get
being
penalty.
handed to nothing.
No. They
No.
were just allowed to leave their pit. They're gone down the pit lane.
I think it was the second time that Carlos came into the pits. They got a penalty. Was it a 5-second time penalty for like the unsafe release
on
It went
Alonso.
into
That was
the-
very unsafe, my friends.
Yeah. I was like watching. I was like, ah!
I swear to God, Ferrari just needs to sort stuff out. They need to get new team members. They need to just rebrand the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just new team members today, guys. Everyone's being replaced. Like, I don't get whether they've just got like students fresh out of university on this team or what. Like, did we just have like 12-year-olds on this team? Because clearly some of you have never studied a day of engineering in your life.
Just
They
give
have a
me
fast
2
car.
years and I'll be there.
Yeah, they literally
Yeah.
they have a fast car, but none of them just seem to have learned how to like use the car. It makes me laugh. Like, can we sort this out, please, guys? Please, because I've had enough of. I feel heartbroken for Ferrari because you always have the chance, but you can never convert it. And I'm like, guys, can we sort this out, please? Because I need some drama here. I need some drama because the first race was good because we had like a few, like 3 or 4 cars, and then suddenly there was nothing. I was like, what do I do with my life now? Can't support anyone. Kira, do you want to go first with your point, or do you want me to talk about tyres?
I can go first because I feel like
Okay.
we're all going to have like different opinions on it. Please just remember that I am a Hamilton and a Mercedes fan. Well, obviously we had the whole situation of Hamilton either deciding to stay out or being told to stay out when he was leading with the safety car, and obviously Russell coming in, he got to choose what tyres, and obviously he ended up doing a lot better than Hamilton. So I just wanted to see everyone's opinion. Like, do you think Merck pulled a Ferrari a little bit and kind of sold Hamilton down the stream, or what?
I've heard the radio, and George was like, I want softs, I want them now. And I think Lewis not saying he wants soft meant that he thought his mediums would be good enough. So
Well,
I don't think the team were like, let's not put him through softs, because if he felt like he had enough in his tyre, he was like cool with it. And obviously once he passed the pit box, Red Bull were further along the pit lane than them. So once they saw that Max was pitting, it was too late for them to pit Hamilton. But it wasn't too late to pit Russell. And I think Russell saying he wanted soft was a very smart move. And I think it proves that Russell, he's ready for his first win. He knows what he's doing. He knows when to make the right calls. And my ball, Russell needs to win a race. And that's all I'm going to say.
I can agree with that. He deserves to win a race. It's been so long waited. Like we wanted it for ages. Like, I mean, because he came second at the Dutch Grand Prix, and I was so mad about it because it was so close to first. But because Max is too fast, it was just out of his reach, and I was just like, oh, bless him. Honestly, I want him to win. I really want it, but God knows.
But I also don't think, like you said, Kira, that they're picking favourites. I think they just went with George's decision and were like, George knows what he wants. We'll give him the tyres. Lewis hasn't said anything about his tyres, so we'll leave Lewis on his tyres. So I don't know. I feel like maybe Mercedes could have made a better call. But again, if Lewis wasn't complaining, why were you going to pit someone for another set of tyres?
I think it's because the sound of Hamilton's radio messages, he was saying like, oh, you've kind of done this to me. Like, so it made it sound like they made the decision, not Hamilton. That's why I think people are saying they're pulling the Ferrari, because it sounded like Hamilton wanted to go in. But obviously we don't know because we only see certain messages.
But I think, I have the F1 TV, so I like flick to each people's.
Okay.
You can like flick for driver cam. You can hit all the radio from one driver. And I was listening to Lewis's and George's at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously Lewis didn't hear that George had said he wanted to pit for softs. So I think at that point, Lewis thought the team had told George to pit for softs, which I think may have been why Lewis said, you fucked me, because he thinks that the team did it, but George said, I want the softs. Whereas obviously Lewis can't hear George saying he wants softs. So Lewis just sees George pit, get the sauce, and he's like, you've just all like messed me up, my race is over, blah blah blah. And it's like, but they haven't. You've fallen off a bit, my friend.
I feel bad for him though, because as we said, like with that safety car, Hamilton was P1. Like he did have a chance of winning. Like if he pitted when Russell did, who knows? I'm not saying it could have, because as we know, Max is very fast. But he was in the lead. And it looks like Murphy was just like, all right, and whatever, and didn't really want to get that win. But obviously, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. So
maybe they're just not trying to get the isn't it no drivers ever won from 300 races?
I don't know.
Maybe they're just trying not to beat that. Maybe they're just like, Lewis, don't win. Like, Lewis, honey, lose. They don't want to be the outlier here. I don't know. I feel like that leads nicely into my tyre segue about the tyres, because I saw a lot of people being like, why is everyone pitting for hards? Why is everyone pitting for like mediums? And because the deg was so high on the track, the hards obviously at one point, because Max was going to send hards, I think, to the end of the race, those hards would have turned into softs, I think, by the end of the race, because of the high deg at the track. So I think it was a smart move from Red Bull to pit him onto the hards to then weather his tyre down. And obviously pitting onto the softs with like 10 laps to go was probably the smartest move Red Bull have made all season long. But I think tyres was a very fun game to play at Netherlands, or Zandvoort, should I say. I always like it when the tyre game comes into play, because you see like all the different teams like running around picking different tyres up, and you're just like, who's picking what? And then Ferrari just put everyone into hards for no reason. Ferrari doesn't love the hard tyre. They just have a connection to that hard tyre. They must do. They must sleep with them at night.
Do you reckon they've just lost all their soft tyres and they just don't want to admit it? Like they've just lost it. So like the Ferrari truck, but like what did it do? It burnt or something? Like it set on fire? Yeah, they just set on fire all the soft tyres just so they can't use it.
And like, what soft tyres?
What soft tyres? They don't exist.
No, we had the ultra soft tyres.
God.
They just steal the F2 tyres from their grid because they're 18 inches.
God. Yeah, they just don't exist in Ferrari. Like,
no, they don't. The softs do not exist. And it makes me laugh because the softs would help Ferrari out so much in different ways. Like, Ferrari confused me, and I just want to talk to someone from Ferrari to understand what they're doing, because I feel like I have a better strategy game than they do currently. Because I get paid like 20-30 grand to do this a week, so it makes me laugh. What about their strategy on their way to Monza? Because their fan broke down and set fire, apparently.
Yeah, God.
Is this a strategy?
It's not a good start.
Stop it.
Don't, because if Carlos's car starts burning like it did before, I will actually cry.
My God, Ferrari, I have no words, just becoming more and more of a joke.
Yellow.
I think I saw somewhere for Monza they have removed the sausage curb.
Oh no, don't do that. That was fun. That was really fun watching last year, and the drama that was created after it. Oh, Max is a bad competitor. He didn't check on Lewis. He was angry. Okay?
That was so.
I'm just saying, a wheel was on Hamilton's head.
Like, I see that, but at the same time, I feel like they were both angry, and I feel like Max was just wanting to get away from it so that no one saw anything like bad, if he did anything bad, so that no one see it. So I was like,
but the difference is Max always seems to be angry at something.
He's just got anger issues. Yeah. He's just an angry man. I feel like he's a little bit of a sore loser, I think.
Oh, I'm so glad someone says that.
But so can Lewis. So
is Lewis. Yeah, I was about to say. So is Lewis. They both are very sore losers.
If they're passionate.
But they're very competitive as well. They've been doing this for years. There's only 20 drivers, it's very competitive. So when you lose, you don't just lose a little bit, you lose like massively.
Yeah.
So I understand being a sore loser. I think I would be the one.
Honestly, if it was me, I would
I'll be friends with no one in that paddock because I'll just be starting driving everyone.
Yeah, no, I would be such a sore loser.
I would not be. I think Ferrari this weekend are just undoubtedly making me laugh because first of all we have the truck breaking down before we even got to Monza. Second of all, we have them in their really weird yellow suits, which make them look like the minions of bananas. Either I will take, and if someone photoshops one of them with like the glasses on their helmet, I'll be your best friend forever. We also now have this weird red and yellow car thing.
I'm glad the thing is, with their livery, I thought they were going to change the whole thing to yellow, like a Renault situation, and I was so glad that they did not change the whole car to yellow just for this Grand Prix, because I mean it's Monza. Yeah, exactly. It's Monza, and in Italy you were so like the Italian flag has no yellow in it. The only yellow in the Ferrari is the Ferrari logo and the Shell logo. Like, and that's got red as well. So I'm just like, what? Who's decided to do this?
Saying that like the yellow represents something to do with their history. I don't know.
Yeah, because the Ferrari thing's obviously like yellow.
Yeah, the yellow. Yeah, the logo.
It's yellow and red.
But it's always been like that.
Yes, I feel like it's the historic.
So why are they now just bringing this special yellow out?
Because it's 75 years of Ferrari, isn't it?
But could they just not pull something? But you think of Ferrari, you think of red, not yellow.
Yeah.
At least do spice up the red or something in some sort of way.
Even when you think about a Ferrari like car, a normal car, your mind instantly goes to red.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a normal car, not even just like the Ferrari F1 car.
Even the racing emoji on iPhone's a red racing car.
Yeah, because the Ferrari, especially in one of the Ferrari documentaries that I've watched before, it literally said when you think of red, you think Ferrari. That's that's their standpoint, and I just don't like the yellow as much as I love the color yellow. Just no
red racing car.
Stop. They look like they're coming Barry the Bee out of the Bee movie. They look like they're out of the Bee movie.
Everyone get ready. These are the bananas. They're going to be on track. It's funny because
the black fireproofs are good, but just the suits are a no.
With the suits untied, this looks like a banana skin, and you can't.
Why you said that?
It does. It looks like it's legit like a banana. The lighting is terrible. Wait, hold on.
I just thought, every time I see it, I think Barry the Bee because it's black underneath. I just think Barry the Bee. But then the thing is, because if they had white underneath, they'd be legit bananas. But now they've got black underneath. I feel like it's just Barry the Bee.
Like that is a minion helmet if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
As a minion if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. With some people, the yellow has grown on them, but for me, it's still not doing it.
No, it's not doing it for me.
I think it's just because it's the complete opposite of what it normally is.
Yeah. The amount of people that I've seen unbox a yellow Ferrari shirt is unreal. I'm like, how the hell have you just gone and bought that? No judgment. Like, if you love it, you love it. And cool, you've got one. I'm glad you got one. But, oh my God, I would not spend about 40-50 quid on a yellow t-shirt.
Also, how do you find it nice? What do you pair it with?
Yeah,
would you wear it with
black jeans,
a banana suit?
You can't wear it with blue. You can't wear it with blue because that would look weird. You can't wear green or dark colour flares. You literally have to wear black. It's the most unversatile shirt I've ever seen.
You can't even wear white because it just looks odd.
No.
Just
I feel sick.
Maybe if you had red jeans.
Red jeans. Great.
Red jeans.
Please stop.
Walking down the runway in Milan on that. Ooh.
I feel violently ill. That is no. Well, we'll see the banana out on track in it starts at 1, I think, for FP1.
Yeah.
So we have an hour, 2 hours till we see the banana on track. Can't wait. I can't wait for the memes this weekend. I feel like the memes are going to be just
the best part.
Yeah, the best part of the weekend. Yeah. Screw the racing. I don't know what the racing's going to be this weekend either.
Practice 1 is at 1 and practice 2 is at 4. And then tomorrow, practice 3 is at 12 and then qualifying is at 3. And then on the 11th, the race is at 2 p.m.
There we
So-
go. And they'll be probably like warm up on Sky from like 12 because they just warm up incredibly early. I've like anytime I turn the TV on Sunday night from like 10 a.m. they've got like the F1 on like showing really weird things and I'm like, what's happening here? Also, just to say that the IndyCar is also on this weekend, the final of the IndyCar, which I will talk about in the next episode because I want to know who's champion.
I have no idea what you're on about.
Do you not know who Pace Award is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
I know the McLarens, that's it.
He was in contention until he lost out last weekend. He had to win at the last race and he didn't. So McLaren can't win the IndyCar championship now. Neither can Andretti.
Not winning anything, darling.
What did you say, Kira?
So they're not winning anything, are they?
Who?
McLaren.
They're just a winning
They have
though.
all these teams that all of motorsport and just no one's doing anything with any of it.
McLaren are just in everything, but they win nothing.
Yeah. So how do they still have the money to do everything when they?
Because have you seen the price of their cars, mate?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
I work in a restaurant, right? And I do many jobs. It's very dotted about. But last year I was talking to this guy who was at a table and he was talking about the Grand Prix. I was like, oh, I like F1, yada yada yada. Start getting into that and he goes, who are you a fan of? I was like, oh, McLaren. And he gave me a massive high five and he went, oh, I just bought myself a McLaren. I was like, you better tip me really good.
You better tip me.
I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it's coming in next month. And I was like, this man just brought himself a McLaren and he's telling me about it. How much money do you have?
It just like I don't understand. And I know it's a sports car. I know it's meant to, be like big amounts of money, but can we have like at least a family version of a McLaren? Because where are you picking the child in that McLaren? Where are you putting it?
I'll fit myself in like the little kiddie McLaren that they have.
I'm buying my nephew one of those. So my sister's boyfriend, who's obviously the baby's dad, he is a big Merc fan. So he's like, no, we're getting a G-Wagon. And I went to Argos the other day and they sell the McLaren, they sell the Senna. And I was like,
no way.
I'm getting that. Yeah. Catch my nephew rolling around in a McLaren. Next Lando Norris. Anyone want to support him, please? Because I want a rich dad. Basically, I said to my sister, I was like, I'm putting him into karting so that we can go to races and I can meet rich people and get married. I'm using him as my
Hey, you can get one in August for 60 quid, guys.
Yeah, that's what I said. Look, one of them.
Yeah,
sick, mate. He'll be the coolest kid at school. I'll be like, you can take that to school with you. If my sister's watching this, I'm still buying it for him. She declines to believe I'm buying it for him. She's like, if you buy it, I'm not keeping it at my house. I was like, okay, I'll keep it at mine. He can come and have it at Auntie Millie's because he'll love me. Because we can watch F1 together. King.
That's so cute.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't tell you how excited I am. But he's coming at the end of the season. So he's due in December on the 13th.
Oh.
So in time for Formula E to start. So we'll get into that first of all. Yeah. But he has to wait like 3 or 4 months till we watch F1. I'm like,
I know this break is going to be so long because obviously it ends in mid-November. Oh, I'd just like to announce I'm going to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Oh.
So I can get as much footage as possible. But I am going with a load of my friends from Silverstone.
How much did you pay for it there?
Oh, it was good. It was pricey. So the tickets were about £450 each. But that includes a pit walk on the Thursday. And we've got grandstands.
Ooh, that's good.
Better than Silverstone.
Yeah,
literally. This whole thing is probably what Silverstone costs. So our flights were 400 and accommodation about 400. So good £1,200.
Yeah, that's roughly how much I spend at Silverstone.
Yeah, yeah.
With the
So-
food, with the camping, with the grandstand.
Yeah,
tickets.
exactly. So it's worked out really well, and I literally every time I've said it to like my family, I'm like, it's literally what you pay for Silverstone, but in a different bloody country. So
And it's the final.
and it's a final. I get that's the main reason we were going, to see Seb race for the final time, because that's what we all wanted to do. So
And to see Daniel race for the final time.
oh yeah, if he doesn't get a seat, then yeah.
No, we've got to manifest that I'll get a seat. You're going to see him next season.
He's going to get a seat. He's going to get a seat.
All the vibes, all the vibes.
But, yeah, so I will get as much info and experience about it and tell you all on this podcast.
We'll be FaceTiming Grace while she's out there.
We'll be there like, go Daddy, go! Go Seb, go!
Yeah, and we're going to Ferrari World, I believe, as well. So yeah, because we're out there for a week.
Exciting.
So yeah, it's exciting.
Well, I'm going to all the Formula E events in Europe next year, so
Are you actually?
well, I'm hoping to. The plan.
If you do, oh my god, I'm gonna be so jealous. Like,
Why don't you come with me?
I got uni.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm planning for Silverstone and the Dutch Grand Prix, and then Formula E finale in London.
Because there's a ton of them, and obviously we can get accreditation potentially. So you might see us. Might see us slitting about the paddock. One of the Formula E events if you come to any of them. Kira, of course, you're welcome to join us. We will take you to the world of Formula E, because it is a great world to be in. It's a fantastic place to be.
It's the way
my teachers
at the London E-Prix, which was such a big thing. And I remember saying to Millie, USA. I just remember saying to Millie, I want to do a podcast, and here we are. So
sat on the steps eating a Tesco meal deal.
Not the meal deal.
Oh yeah.
We did not pay for a single item of food in that place. I paid for these 2 Costas. And that was the only thing I paid for in that place. I brought 4 Costas, mate. And
our drinkies as well. We had our drinkies.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait, do I have a picture of it? I think I have a picture. So we bought drinks. So we weren't informed. We weren't allowed to drink until 11 o'clock, which I was like fair enough to, because it was less rowdy than Formula 1, I think, because like no one was drinking basically, because at 11 everything's kind of finished for the day. There wasn't anything after 11, so I was really drunk. So it was great, but basically
it was expensive though.
It was so expensive.
Like a double vodka lemonade cost me a good £7.50, £8 kind of. It was pricey. But
do I not have the picture of the menu on my phone?
Oh,
if I find the picture, I'll put it on screen now. But I'm not even joking. The drink was probably this big.
It was tiny. It was absolutely tiny.
Teeny tiny, but it was very alcoholic, I'd say. It was very alcoholic, I must say.
At least it was strong. At least it was watered down. So
very strong. Yeah, this was probably the exact moment we were talking about it and making TikToks.
Yeah.
It's the exact moment. If you want to remember this moment, please. I also want to say how me and Hayley met, because I think this is quite funny. So the first morning, me and my friend Adam, who I went with, we came downstairs for breakfast, and we were having breakfast on the first day. And then I saw someone in the corner of the room that looked like Hayley. I don't know how. I think I'd seen a TikTok about getting to 500 followers or something.
I think I'd also commented on your TikToks when you were getting your Formula E tickets, and then we followed each other.
Maybe somehow that happened. And I see her in the corner of this restaurant, and I'm like, I know this woman. And then I think I saw your post saying like, ready for day 1 or something, and I was like, yeah, that was her. So I messaged her, and I was like, oh, do you want to wait for me and my friend, and we're coming down in a minute? She was like, yeah, sure. And then it was us 3, and then Adam left me partway through day 1 to go meet
it wasn't even to go meet me. We ran into each other. So I was walking down. I was walking towards like where my grandstand would be, just to suss it out and everything. And we were so he walked out of like, you know, like the doorway where you go into your grandstand on the inside, right? So he walked out, and I kind of like, I looked at him and then I looked away, and then I was like, hang on a second. Looked at him again, and we both pointed at each other and was like, we know each other, so we just like start hanging out. And then I took Millie's seat in the grandstand because he told me to. So Millie came in and sat down, and I was just like, oh hi. And then I felt really awkward because I was in her seat.
Oh, and then Grace, the little rat. We were sat down having lunch, discussing TikTok, discussing who everyone's following, and Haley goes, "Oh yeah, Grace, I follow you." Grace goes onto TikTok. Oh, I don't follow you back. It's too prestigious to be following for the 500.
I didn't. The thing is, you hadn't come up on my For You page. Hadn't commented on any of my TikToks, so I never noticed.
It's okay.
I just don't like. Some people know, like, follow me, and I just don't notice.
I roasted them the whole weekend for this. I roasted Grace the whole weekend. I was like, Grace, you don't follow her. Huh? Too many followers for us. And then she hit 10k like the day after we came back.
I just hit 11k as well.
You what?
I just hit 11k as well. So I hit that yesterday, and that's within. I think that was within 2 weeks of hitting 10k.
Damn.
Thank you. But yeah, no, it's really fun.
We're not friends. Basically, if she probably doesn't follow you, Kira, she's probably too high for you.
I don't make TikTok, so I don't care about the TikTok thing. We have each of our Instagram on the page.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, but do you follow her on Instagram, Grace?
I do actually. I made sure to do that.
Did you follow Haley on Instagram?
As much as I don't reply in the group chat, I make sure to follow you all. But it did take me till the other day to follow the podcast Instagram, because I don't know why I didn't do it.
I was like, Grace.
You'd think for someone who does TikTok and is always on their phone, they'd be good at replying. No, it's just not me. My friends hate me for it. They're like, so they have to ring me and go, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? And they go, I'm texting you important things. Answer. I'm like, oh, well, lol, great.
But no, Formula E was just a really, like, it was a very fast-paced weekend. Like, I feel like there was entertainment every day, because obviously you get a race. Well, you had a race every day at London. And because you had a race every day, there was something happening every day, and it was just so good. Like, I don't know, I think I got my tickets. I got mine and Adam's tickets. I got 2 grandstand tickets. I got one corner one, and then I got the other one, which is outside. And I preferred the outside ticket. I'm not gonna lie. I will say that I will pay for the cheaper ticket, way better. And I paid that for what I paid for one of the Silverstone tickets, I'm pretty sure. And then my accommodation, I think, was less than we paid for the tickets. And the premium was quite nice, wasn't it, Haley?
It was classy.
Lovely. It was lovely.
Not my banana though, my poor banana.
So she took a banana, she stole a banana from breakfast and didn't eat it.
No, because like not this flag, but my big Tachita flag was in my bag, and it like had mushed it. And then I got to the coach station. I was like, my banana. But it's fine because I have bananas at home. So the whole journey home, I was like, my bananas are at home.
Yeah, I'd recommend to anyone, if you don't perhaps can afford to go to Formula One or don't want to spend the money in Formula One, spend your money on Formula E tickets, because I promise you, they are so much more worth it. You get so much more with it. I literally got to take a picture with Mitch Evans. She got to take a picture with Nick van der Vries, which just a story time in itself. If anyone wants a story time, please let us know, because we can tell you the story time. We love that. I took pictures with. I took a picture of Dan Tickton. I took pictures of everyone. You can literally get this close to your favorite drivers for no more than what you paid to get in. It's that's what I was saying. You have to pay like 30 quid, and then you don't see any drivers on your pit walk anyway. You literally get an autograph signing session.
And everything.
What was that?
Inner track access. That's not available to like the public and everything. Well, I mean, it's available to some people, but not that many people, because when I went round to the paddock, I thought it'd be packed. No, 100% not. So
but it's a lot more accessible in Formula E, should we say. So definitely, if you think about it, go to Formula E. There's a lot of racing. It's like a lot of racing, I will say. I think I saw like 3 crashes in each of the races. There's drama always, normally from me because I'm crying about the Chapman's losing. But I don't know, it's just, and they go to really cool places, they go to some really interesting places. Every event is carbon neutral, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So you always didn't go to the planet by doing so. Me and Haley were also on TV, so you might get yourself onto TV at some point.
No fairness.
And I don't know, especially this year because the finale's in London. So if you live in London or live near London, it's the perfect event to go to because it's the final. You'll get to see the champion crowned. Well, if it goes to the end of the season, that is. Might not. But if it goes into the season, you'll see the champion crowned. It's just a great night, and you're in London, so you can go for a night out after.
Yeah.
And actually, I met the Quadrant social media admin, Katie. I met her on
Even Lizzie was there as well.
We didn't see Lizzie, and I was hunting for Lizzie for an hour. So Lizzie, if you ever see this, I was waiting for you outside the Foxes. I was on a hunt. I was running, and I couldn't find you. So Lizzie, please, I just want to meet you, my friend. Okay, I was waiting. But yeah, they were both there. You could see them. You can talk to them. I'm sorry, Formula E is just better, and you can't make me change my mind about it. God, I'm set in my ways. Right. I think that's enough waffle for one day because like 20 minutes. We just segued into random things. Predictions, because my crystal ball is gleaming.
Yeah.
Right, who wants to go first?
Oh, go on. I'll go first. Okay. Right. Because it's
Hold
Monza.
on. I'm gonna write this down, and then we'll see at the end of the weekend if Haley.
Oh, okay. Are you ready?
Hold on. No, let me do it. Just find a random page that I don't really want to write. We'll do this one. Okay. Come on, Haley.
Right, because it's Monza and ludicrous things can happen. Let's go, because I've seen lots of people saying it. George Russell for podium.
Where on the podium?
Yeah, where?
P1, baby. P1.
Okay.
P2 will go for Verstappen.
Okay.
And then P3 we'll go Carlos. Let's go Carlos.
She's got faith. We'll
go Carlos. We'll go spicy.
With his banana costume.
Yeah. We need bananas on the podium. Okay.
Right, who's next? Who's next for the predictions?
I can go.
Okay, right, Grace, come on.
So I reckon P1, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Max.
Okay.
Because it's just, if he doesn't DNF, it's gonna be Max. P2, I think George. And then P3, I think Carlos, because Carlos doesn't give in to the strategy as much as Charles. So
I forgot to ask you, Haley, any crazy crashes or any DNFs?
Don't know.
No, that's not an answer.
Can you come back to me? Can you come back to me? Let me think about
great.
it.
How about you?
Let me think about it.
Crashes,
I feel like
DNFs?
one of the McLarens might crash out, because you know how they won last year, they might be a bit cocky and overdo it kind of thing, because even though McLaren perform on that circuit because it's such a high speed circuit, I just feel like one of them is going to get a bit too cocky. No, but yeah.
Okay, so no big crashes apart from the McLaren going out. No one else is going to DNF. No technical faults.
I think like maybe. Oh, you go. Okay.
I feel like maybe one of the Hasses, if anything, or I feel like Albon might have a problem or something. I know, but it's like a gut feeling that Albon might have a problem. Love him, but I feel like there might be something with the car. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay, I'll put Albon.
Don't know why.
We're not doing this.
I'm gonna say, because I'm pretty sure Pierre isn't racing this weekend because he's not feeling well.
Mhm.
I think whoever replaces Pierre will crash out.
Okay. Pierre replace. This is the weirdest thing I've ever put in my book. Pierre replacement crashes.
So I don't know. Do we even know yet who's replacing Pierre? No, I don't
Well,
think so.
it said he wasn't coming to the track today, but
Oh.
nothing's been announced for tomorrow, I don't think.
Okay, then if he comes back, we'll just say Pierre.
So Pierre or Pierre's counterpart is crashing either way.
I'm just saying
change of
ludicrous
DNF?
things, okay?
No DNS, no other issues for any other drivers.
No, we'll just say Pierre. I don't know.
Right, Kira.
Right, I'm going to go with Max first.
Okay.
Perez second, because Red Bulls are very dominant, and I'm going to go with a Murph for P3. I'm going to say Russell, even though I want it to be Hamilton, but obviously him starting at the back with engine penalty, which we'll talk about next step, it's not going to look very good.
Any DNFs, crashes?
I'm going to go, I know I said it last time, with Bottas, but I'm going to say Alfa Romeo, but Joe Guanyu this time.
You
They're
actually did guess
reliable.
Bottas DNF, didn't you?
You gave me the crystal ball.
Give me the powers. Who wants the powers today? Kira can give the powers away.
There you go, Grace.
No, Grace. Because Albon is not crashing out.
No,
Oh,
I feel like
Nelly.
it'll be an engine problem rather than crash, but
Okay, I'll write that.
Gotta
Just
give
set
us
your
your
little
predictions
little
now.
mind.
Mine. I'm gonna go brave here because we're going to K-Mag to win.
Oh, that is brave. That is very
K-Mag
brave.
to win. He's been on the pace this year. He knows how to drive a car well. He knows what to do at speed. The Ferrari powertrain is always better at low speed and at low speed corners, which is what he has on the back of his engine. K-Mag for P1.
If you have the powers right now, I will be absolutely stunned.
I think George Russell will come
A
third.
Haas winning.
Yeah.
You would never have seen that last
We've
year.
seen braver things happen at Monza, okay? Monza is where
Yeah.
random drivers win.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's true.
K-Mag is coming to win.
it's very true. Yeah, no. Haas can be a good car, but oh my god, you definitely wouldn't have seen it last year.
No,
Especially with
Massive
Mazepin. I say Mazepin because he bloody spins. So Mazepin.
I think we're going to get Max Verstappen DNF. I think there's going to be like a powertrain issue. He's going to DNF at some point.
It's always eventful when he DNFs. So
exactly. I think we could see a Charles Leclerc second place and a George Russell P3.
Okay.
And I'm suspicious of the Alfa Romeo again because they just seem to have really bad luck at the moment. So I'm not very strong with them. But we'll see how our predictions come into play at the weekend. And we should have like a smaller episode coming out at some point this week, along with the reveal of our website, which is so close to being ready. Grace just needs to pair stuff in.
what stuff? I don't know.
I'll ask you in the group chat.
Because you're never on the group chat.
But yeah, we will see you next week. Enjoy Monza. Hopefully K-Mag wins.
Bye.